The roots of all the problems today can be traced back to the spread of neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is a political and economic philosophy that emerged in the 1970s. Its core idea is to revise classical liberalism, emphasizing free markets, individual freedom, and being free from government. And it was also around the 1970s that the United States of America started to become the United States of Israel. The governments began to be seen as some kind of evil force, almost like the devil itself. Any form of government's regulation was labeled as a road to serfdom. In other words, the less the government interferes, the better society becomes. But this neoliberal argument doesn't really hold up under scrutiny. By their logic, wouldn't it be best if the government didn't exist at all? I mean, if the government limits your freedom, why not just go full-on anarchies? Why do they have to keep the government? Because, according to Marx's analysis, the government is a tool used by the ruling class to protect their interests and maintain control. The wealthy needs the government to stay in power and keep everyone serving the system obediently. But at the same time, they don't want the government to produce another threat to their interests, someone like Franklin D. Roosevelt, the man who dared to tax the rich at a rate of 92%. FDR was the one who built America that the boomer generation believed in, a place where if you work hard enough, you could achieve the American dream. That's why boomers are so frustrated with today's younger generation out of the rat race. They think young people are making money simply because they are not working hard enough. But they fail to see how things have changed it. A 30-year-old back in the boomer era could earn at least 20% more than a 30-year-old today, and it was way easier. This shift started in the 1970s. Since then, everyone has been brainwashed with these ideas of neoliberalism that we are solely responsible for our own lives, and the government should stay out of it as much as possible. The government should only keep basic functions like protecting the sacred right to private property, but other functions like a strong welfare system, better not, because only by limiting this can they steal the fruits of people's labor and send them off to somewhere. That's how neoliberalism harms Americans, but its impact isn't just local, it's gone global. Thanks to its core message, packing the beautiful ideal of freedom as a tool to serve capital. That's why we end up in a situation where freedom can challenge almost anything. Morals, ethics, social norms, but it can never challenge money. It's ironic when you think about it. We have the freedom to curse, cheat, lie, and attack others, but we don't have the freedom to just stop making money. And most people don't even realize that this is a form of unfreedom, and even a form of oppression. Because if everyone thought that way, who would keep the system running? When they keep pushing freedom to the whole world, their target audience is never the 99% of the people, because the unspoken rules of this game mean one thing. The only way to true freedom is financial freedom, and everything else is just an illusion to make people think we already live in some form of perfect utopia. That's what neoliberalism is all about. Create a birth cage that wins birth genuine acceptance. So, I think we all need to rethink the concept of true freedom. What's true freedom? True freedom can only be and must be the dual liberation of the material and the spiritual. Any freedom that fails to meet these two standards is just BS.